All right, let's start on number 1. Not sure if y'all did this last year or not. All right, first thing we have to remember is, guys, this is a right triangle. Looks like a right triangle. Does it have the little right angle mark in it? Yes, sir. How much does a right angle measure? So we can go ahead and put 90 degrees on angle C. We know that. That's something we can go ahead and do. Do that. Angle C is 90 degrees because it had the right angle mark in it. All right, something else, JP, I know we can do. If I add up the 3 angles in a triangle, how much does it equal again? 180. So when I add up these 3, it's got to equal 180. Right. How do I find that one? Start with 180, subtract these 2, it gives you what's left over. Do it. 180 minus 90 minus 35. I got 55 degrees. Write that in. Everybody good? All right, so we've got to find these other sides right here. Okay? I want y'all to do this. On your paper, where it's got side 8, I want y'all to write 12. Very lightly right there. That way we can erase it and use that same triangle on every problem, and y'all won't have to draw a new triangle every time. Okay? All right, here we go. Every time we do these problems, I want y'all to start from A. On our last worksheet, sometimes it said sine of A, sometimes it said sine of B, right? For us to all do it the same, I want everybody to start at angle A every time. All right, so y'all look at this. 12 is the only number we got up there, right? Which side is it on? Opposite, adjacent, or hypotenuse?
Opposite.
It's on opposite. That means I have to use one of the formulas that has opposite in it. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. What's cosine again? Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then you got tangent, which is opposite over adjacent. All right, so if I've got to use a formula that's got opposite in it, which one can I use? I can use either this one or this one. It doesn't matter. You'll get the same answer. So I'm going to use this one. Okay? So we're going to do sine of angle A. So I need y'all to write sine of 35 degrees. Where did I get 35 from? Because we're starting at angle A every time, and that's how much angle A measures. All right, now the formula says put your opposite side on top. So what goes on top? Opposite of A is 12. 12 goes on top. All right, what goes on bottom? Hypotenuse. Do we have a number for the hypotenuse? No, so let's just put little c. All right, anybody got, now this is our equation we're going to use to answer the problem. Anybody got a question where I got any of those numbers from? You should. Okay, now for us to be able to work this out, we would have to cross multiply. All right, I'm going to show y'all a shortcut. Anytime your C is on the bottom or your X is on the bottom, we're just going to trade places with these two. When you cross multiply, that's what's going to happen. So that C equals 12 over sine of 35. All right, Tyler, type that in your calculator. Tell me what you get. 12 over sine of 35. 20.9. All right. So now here's the next question. Where did I put 20.9 at, guys? In B or in C? We had C in our formula, right? Okay, so 20.9, whoops. 20.9 goes right here. And we'll just go to 1 decimal point. We're not going to do the 4 decimal places on this. All right, question. All right, good. Now that was the hard part. This one step right here is the hardest part. If you can do that, the rest of it's easy. Now, to find my last missing side, since this is a right triangle, I can do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 12 squared plus b squared equals 20.9 squared. Okay? Now, we went over this last week. if I have numbers right here for A and B, I add them up. But what's going to happen with 12 squared when I move it over here? You got to subtract it. So we're going to do 20.9 squared minus 12 squared. 292.81. Now, find the square root of that. All right, my answer is 17.1. All right, write that in. We got to check something. All right, angle C. Y'all look at your three angles. Angle C is the biggest angle, right? So Tyler, it should have the biggest side. Which one's the smallest angle? Angle A. It should have the smallest side. Is that right? If that works out every time, you're probably right. But now if you get, side C is 3.5 and it's the shortest, that's not right because it had the biggest angle. And you messed up, go back and fix something. All right, I think we got time for at least one more. These are pretty long. Now, y'all didn't do this last year? Okay. So you got to find all three angles and all three sides on every problem. We're going to skip that one because it's different. I want to do one like number 1. Let's go to number 3. It's just like number 1. All right, so Sarah, what do we know angle C is going to be every time?
90.
We can go ahead and write 90 in. And Jason, how do I find angle B every time? Just like we did on the last problem, what do we do? Yeah, start with 180 minus 90 minus 58 degrees, 12 minutes. Type it on your calculator, see what you get. All right, so always do that first. So everybody should be typing in 180 minus 90 minus 58 degrees and 12 minutes. 58 degrees. Don't forget you got to hit that second angle button, JP. 12 minutes. All right, I got this. Y'all look at mine. I got 31.8. Everybody good? Now, we can't write 31.8 in the blank. How come?
Because it's not finished.
This is degrees and minutes. We got to make this degrees and minutes. So y'all should know how to do that on your calculator. Boom, boom, boom. I got 31 degrees, 48 minutes. We won't do seconds. We'll just stop at minutes. All right, I'll stop and see if y'all got a question on that. All right, we good? All right, next, I left off. All right, our problem says that side B is 34, whatever, feet or inches, we don't know. So I need y'all to write 34 on the triangle. So if y'all would erase the 12 that we put here, erase it, go back and write 34 right there. I probably should have just gave y'all 5 triangles, but I did. Oh. So you got 31.8. So now we got to put it in DMS, degrees, minutes, and seconds. It's second angle. And you can either scroll all the way down to number 6. I just always go right to 6. It says DMS. Yeah, we want DMS. All right, anybody else? All right, now, which angle are we going to start looking from every time?
A.
Guys, you're going to start from angle A every single time. No question about it. 34 is the only number we got, right, JP? Is it on the opposite side, the adjacent side, or the hypotenuse side? It's on the adjacent. Because look, that would be the opposite. It's not on that side, and that's always the hypotenuse. The only thing left is adjacent. So pick a formula that's got the word adjacent in it. And y'all should have your formulas written down somewhere. Yeah. What's the formula for cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent over hypotenuse. Okay. Let's do that one then. All right. So I'm going to do cosine of angle A, which is 58 degrees, 12 minutes. And why am I writing that number down again? Because we're going to start from angle A every single problem. Everybody's going to do it the same way. You could actually start from B, but then our answers would be just a little different, and I want us to all have the same answer. All right, so the formula says put your adjacent side on top. What goes on top? 34. All right, formula says put your hypotenuse on the bottom. Do we have a number for the, on the hypotenuse side? No, so we're just going to put little c. That will show us after we get our answer, it goes in for little c. All right, now we just did this problem, guys. We just had one just like this. Instead of doing the cross multiply step, I said y'all could do the shortcut. What's it going to be when you got the x, or in this case the c on the bottom? What are you going to do? Just going to flip these two right here. It's going to be c equals 34 over cosine of 58 degrees 12 minutes. That's something y'all just got to memorize. Or you can cross multiply it. I don't care. All right, so type that in. Let's see what you get. 34 over cosine of 58 degrees. Oh yeah, degrees 12 minutes. All right, this time I got 64.5. Now I want to ask y'all a question. How come I can leave that as a decimal, but over here I had to make it degrees and minutes?
You're not looking for an angle.
Good. All the angles are degrees and minutes. If it's a side, you can leave it as a decimal. That's why. So you don't have to change 64.5 to degrees, minutes, and seconds. I did, not thinking about it. But you don't have to. Matter of fact, don't. It's wrong if you do. Okay?
Would you use c squared minus?
Yep. So now we got to do a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, again, y'all don't have to write it down. Look, if you've got a and b, then you square them and add them up. Tyler, if I've got one of these, but I got my hypotenuse, I'm going to do 64.5 squared minus 34 squared. Let's do it. 64.5 squared minus 34 squared. Wow, I got a big number. Find the square root. What'd y'all get? 54.8. Now, check them. Biggest angle is C. That's the biggest side. Smallest angle is B. That should be the smallest side. I'm good. Now, you guys were a little bit ahead of the other classes, so we're going to stop right there today. Y'all just going to finish up a little early. The other classes have to do that whole sheet, that puzzle sheet that y'all had already started on. All right. We'll work on this some more tomorrow.